Live at the Black Comic Book Festival, Schomburg Library.
I'm gonna go with that, but I'm also gonna look at it. You can. Hold on. That would be awesome. Thank you.
Black Comic Book Festival at the Schomburg Theater, at Schomburg Library in Harlem. We're here with
Gerard Griffith. My name is Gerard Griffith. How you doing? Yeah, this is my collection. Yeah, sure. This is my collection. I'm a history teacher by day, and a comic book collector all my life. But this is my black superhero collection. I decided to collect first appearances of black superheroes. So I have basically every first appearance of every major and a lot of minor black characters in comic books. I have a little bit of everything. It's some classic stuff. Even I've decided to expand beyond comic books, even like comic strips. So I have some old, like classic 1950s comic strips from the Pittsburgh Courier of like black characters. Yeah, they're the Mandrake and also the Guy Fortune. Yeah, so those are like, you know, old newspaper clippings that just like, who knew that in Pittsburgh in the 1950s there was a whole comic strip, like a whole comic section for black people. You know, like these are things that are just people don't know about, as well as like there are lots of positive things in comic books at that time, but there's also a lot of negatives, negative books, racist books. We got like interesting books like you know, that you may not know about, like What If Lois Lane Decided to Become Black. You know, she investigates. She asked Superman to change her black for one day, so she could go into the black section of Metropolis and learn about black people. You know, yeah, exactly. Exactly. You know, and so it's, you know, there's interesting stories, especially in the 60s and the 70s, about black folks, but written by white people. You know, nowadays, you know, and that's what this convention is all about. Now we have a bunch of African-American authors and African-American artists writing about black people. So the stories are going to be a little bit different, but it's just interesting to kind of see how we're portrayed throughout the decades.
Yeah, so you want to say something about the importance of our people to the comic book culture in general, from beginning to end, and how important it is for us to be telling our own stories?
I mean, absolutely. I mean, you know, I definitely think nowadays, I mean, there's a new multicultural movement going on in comic books, in Marvel Comics, and DC Comics. You have the black female intelligent Iron Man, you know, who's a teenager, is taking over for Tony Stark. So we've got like a female Iron Man. You've got a black Spider-Man. You have a black Superman. And so you might think that this is progress, but I wonder if, you know, this change is because now Marvel Comics and DC Comics see us as consumers, and they see us as, you know, oh wow, we can make money by marketing our materials to people of color. Because even though, you know, these books exist, how many of them are written by African Americans? Not many. There are some new ones that are out right now. There's a series called Black, and the people are upstairs actually. You know, that imagines an entire world where only African Americans get superpowers. So it's like, think about the mutants and the X-Men, where it's random whether you get powers, but it's like, what if only African Americans had superpowers? And that's written by an African American. So it's interesting to see that change taking place.
So where do people find you in some of your work? I see the sister holding up. You gotta let the sisters get their input. Can they bring the balance? Holding up the salvo, another classic.
I mean, this is all. I mean, this is straight mom and pop. This is all stuff that's in my house. You know, I have an email. If you want to email me, ggriffith@kipinfinity.org. GRIFFITH @KIPPINF inity.org. I'm a teacher by day, so that's my work email, but I'll check it. If you have any interest in African American books, or you want to know something interesting, controversial, something a nice read, I can definitely recommend something to you.
I got another question.
Okay.
I see Mandrake over there, he got the fez on, I'm a Moorish American. And I also see the Superman. It was interesting how Superman turned Lois Lane black.
Right.
So, in the Moorish world, we say the story of Superman is directly pulled from our people. His name being Kal-El, the hyphen L, and then him getting his power from the sun.
Right.
You got any insight on that, or any opinion on that? How you feel?
I mean, I definitely agree that pieces of that have been taken from our stories, and I think that there have been and it's a toy. There's I forget the name of the toy that kind of like is an African American character that is powered by the sun. It's kind of like the black version of He-Man, but it's an example of someone who probably thought the same thing as what we were just talking about. The idea of Superman, but wait a minute, this is our story, and tried to reclaim it and make it our own. So I definitely think it's powerful to do that. Hopefully it'll be recognized at some point, but we know the way the world works. The one sad thing, many parents are looking for books for their young sons and daughters, like the 5-year-olds, the 6-year-olds, and they want to see black faces in those books, and there aren't that many out there, and so hopefully that'll change. I think one of the most powerful things about this convention are the fathers who come with their sons and show them, read this book, I read it when I was a kid, or let's read this together. It's really, really powerful to see African American men or African American parents just showing their kids or comic books and how they can change their lives. Shout out to All Angels Inc. and Fete Flix. Check it out. They have some great material.
Tell them your name again.
My name is Gerard Griffith, and enjoy. Keep watching Fete Flix.